So guys, doing a little fall moment here. Uy, se brincó poquito. This is my favorite fall place of all time. It's over there by Santa Ana High School in Santa Ana. So bomb. So I'm not even that hungry, but I am hungry because I haven't eaten since the morning. But no, baby, no. It just sticks, chopsticks. Let me show you guys what it looks like. Spicy. I love it spicy. Good. You want poquito? Yeah. Go over there. Es que no puedo have spicy soup. You see, mama. I love this spoon. Yeah. No touches, está caliente. Está hot. Si prende el juguito. So I want to take this time and kind of do part 2 of like labor and delivery as far as my pregnancy. One thing I will say though, it's pretty graphic, so if you're not really like into that type of stuff, I would swipe up. So hungry. I think I'm hungry now. I love this stuff. Pretty please that bean sprouts. They are delish. Some people squirt the lemon into it. I just like to bite on it. Just a tad. Good. I'm at my mom's house right now because I didn't want to go to my house because it's very boring there. I honestly don't know how people do videos and eat because it's like the food is so good. How are you supposed to like know when to like, I don't know, I guess balance yourself with eating and all that good stuff. So basically how all of it happened or whatever, it was I remember I was going to my doctor's appointment. And I was really nervous going because I was in a lot of pain at that point. And it was like 39 weeks. It was a Saturday. It was 39 weeks. And I was very, very scared when I went to the doctor because I wanted him to tell me, like, hey, I'm going to induce you. I don't want you to be in pain anymore. We're going to make it happen. And I was like, okay, like, you know. So I go. They do the, you know, they make you pee. They take your blood pressure. Blood pressure? Yeah, like your blood pressure. I don't know. I think it was your pressure. I don't know if it's blood pressure. I think it's just pressure. You know, the thing on your arm? I don't remember right now. So, sorry. It's because I'm charging my phone as well. And so, like, everyone's acting normal. I don't know. I expected, like, them to be like, okay, like, you go to the doctor at this time or whatever. But no, they didn't say anything. Sorry, this is spicy. Oh, Jesus.
Coffee. Are you dying?
Now I have to edit you out.
Oh, it's a huge bowl.
It's not. It's just in a big plate.
That's a huge bowl.
And so they put you in a regular room where the doctor basically would come and measure you. And
No, that's so.
and tell you, like, okay, like,
You're welcome.
you're opening your clothes. Something.
Put your hand in.
My doctor comes in and he's like, hi, how are you doing, blah blah blah, his typical banter or whatever. And I'm like, oh, just here in pain, like, all the time, like, you know. Go to the hospital. Your blood pressure's high. We're a little bit concerned, so we're gonna go ahead and induce you at the hospital. Don't rush though. He's like, take your time. You know, get something to eat because you're not gonna be eating for a while. And that point, like, I'm like, oh shit. You know, like, my heart's racing. I'm nervous. I'm excited. All that good stuff. And we end up going first to Michoacana. I get a paleta. Actually, I think we went to Michoacana. I'm not really sure. We go to my house. We get everything ready because I didn't prepare anything beforehand. Make sure everything's in the bag. We get to the hospital. More calm, a little bit nervous. We do the whole signing in thing. The nurses were a little confused as to why I was there though, because I was not a neighbor. And when they took my pressure and everything was good. They were like, why are you here? Like, basically, like, you have a week to go, you know? And they kept asking me, like, over and over again, like, are you sure your doctor sent you? And I was like, yeah, why else would I come? So, they do this thing where they start to induce you before they put Pitocin, which is a medication to help you open up. It's supposedly this string that goes in the lining of your uterus, and it's freaking painful. Like, I didn't know it was gonna be painful like that. Like, I thought it was just gonna, because they were like, oh, it's supposed to, like, soften up the cervix to open it up, and you should not feel a thing. I felt the thing, let me tell you. Yeah, so that was not cool. Then I was there in pain for a very long time. And by a very long time, I mean like 6 hours. Going for 8. And then after that, they come in and tell me, do you want an epidural? Yeah, I do. Really badly. So, as soon as I got the epidural, which actually I felt as well, because it's this huge ass needle that goes inside your back or something. It might be you're pregnant, very huge, especially if you're a little gordita like me. They bend you in the bed, like you're like this, basically, with your huge ass stomach right here, and your legs like open like that on the bed, like that, huge stomach bent. And then they scare you and they're like, okay, don't move because we don't want to mess up. Okay, so you try not to move. They do it, and you feel the heat, the cold, whatever. Some people feel different things. It goes in, and my mom's like, okay, like, because my mom was there with me. She's like, okay, like, you're supposed to feel better in a couple of minutes. You won't feel, your legs are going to go numb. You won't feel the bottom half of your body. And you're going to be, like, able to go to sleep or whatever. I think it's your first baby, you really don't go to sleep. I don't know of any person that actually has gone to sleep and then waking up to give birth right after. I think some people go through it. I didn't. So, I didn't go to sleep. And my legs didn't go numb. And so I told mom, hey, like, my legs are not numb. I can walk. And she's like, and I'm like, I'm serious. I can walk. I can move my legs. And she didn't believe me. So she, like, uncovers my leg that was covered in a blanket. And she's like, can you feel this? And I'm like, yeah, you're pinching my leg. And she's like, you can get up? I'm like, yeah, I can get up and I can move from bed. And she's like, oh my God, it didn't work. And I'm like, yeah, it freaking hurts. Like, I'm in a lot of pain. And at this point, the contractions are like coming and going. Not yet at that point where they're like every 15 minutes. They were probably like every 30 minutes, you know. So and then it starts hitting that one point where it's like you start getting your contractions every 15 minutes, right? Whew, they hurt really bad. My mom, she likes to describe it as un dolor sabroso. Yeah, I didn't get that at all. I didn't feel sabroso at all, which is basically in English delicious. No. She said it was a tolerable pain. I did not cry. I did not scream. I didn't hit anything like some women do. I was just right there like, excuse me. And I know why women go to birthing classes and like breathing classes and stuff, because you forget to breathe. Like, you're just trying to hold in the pain for a long time that you do forget to breathe. Because my mom was right there, like, lady telling me, like, okay, breathe, you're not breathing. I was like, all right, I'm just trying to hold it in. And she's like, no, just let it out. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And so finally they take off whatever that little string was to help me, and they're like, okay, we're gonna start you on Pitocin now. It's gonna help you open up, you know. And I was like, all right, cool. At this point, I'm already in the hospital for like 16 plus hours. They started me on Pitocin, and it was the 27th when I was in. It's already the 28th, right? And it's still early. It's like probably like 12 when they put the Pitocin in the afternoon. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like quick, because they say that it's quick for a lot of women, you know. And so it wasn't quick. Like 7 hours later, yeah, I was ready. But throughout those 7 hours, it's like once the contractions were like 5 minutes away, oh my God, I was in so much pain, guys. Like, because since the epidural didn't work, it's freaking painful. I don't know why women sometimes decide not to get the epidural, you know. I think they're very, very strong, you know, confident women, because I cannot. I really wished it would have worked on me, because it was very painful. It feels like you're getting ripped in half At least it did for me. And yeah. Call your sopita. Corre. And so then it gets to the pushing part. Thankfully, I pushed him out in 3 pushes. Super easy. Very emotional moment when your baby's handed to you for the first time ever. You see how he looks, you know. If you do the 3D ultrasound, you get a very, very kind of clear picture of what your baby's gonna look like. But it doesn't compare to the moment where you actually see your baby. And so, like, I was just like, like, that's over. You know, you're in the... They then send you to, like, a recovery room or something. So be, like, relaxing and, you know, all that good stuff. Family comes visit. Such a nice time. But when I told my mom, it was like, because I told my mom everything. I was like, I'm in a lot of pain. No sé. I was in a lot of pain even after having my baby, which it's not supposed to be that, you know, like out of this world, because a lot of people are in some type of discomfort. And I told my mom, with like 2 Tylenols or Advils, it'll go away. It does go away. But then I was like, I feel like I'm bleeding too much. And she was like, no, you get your period right after, so you should be okay. Okay. I believed her. I was alright. You know, because Mama has 5 kids. She's been through whatever crazy pregnancy feeling or, you know, after feeling. But it was different, because what happened to me was not normal. So I went home. They discharged me after like 2.5 days, 3. And at that point, it was more like I was walking like I had had a C-section when I had my child regular vaginal delivery. And my mom was like, ¿Por qué caminas así? Like, are you in pain? I was like, yeah, I'm in a lot of pain. It hurts to walk. Because I would be holding my, like, abdomen and walking very slowly to the restroom. And, like, I would go to the restroom and I'd be like, oh, my God. Like, this is a lot of blood. And I would tell my mom, she's like, maybe a lot for you is, like, a little and you think it's a lot. And I'm like, okay. You know? And then I remember this is the first time that I actually went to the hospital. I got up from her bed one day because I was resting on her bed because I was really exhausted because my son was a crier and he did not sleep a lot. So I got up from her bed, and this was in the daytime. I got up, and then as soon as I got up, I told her I'm gonna go to the restroom. And like always, I grabbed my abdomen to walk, but as soon as I stood up, I got dizzy. And I looked down because I felt like wet on the floor, and I was running down my legs. It was like a pool of blood, and I was like, Mom, and then she like quickly put me in the restroom, in the shower or whatever. It's safe to say that the restroom was smelling like a bag of blood. At this point, my mom was like, we have to go to the hospital. Something's not right. So they take me to the hospital. And I'm gonna say, if you've ever been to the hospital, you know they're really slow. And I don't know if it's because they're really busy or they have a protocol they have to follow. I really don't know, but I'm in the waiting room, feeling like shit, feeling like I'm gonna pass out. At the second point where I feel like I'm passing out, they're transferring me over to the second waiting room. So the second waiting room, you're waiting to go into get your vitals taken. At that point, I'm already passing out because I've lost a lot of blood. And my mom bangs on the freaking window, and the nurses are like, "You have to wait your turn. We don't have a room for her. Blah blah blah." And I was like, "She's passing out. You have to get her in there." Okay, now they start like, "Oh crap, let's go get her inside the freaking vital room." They put me in the vital room. They start asking me like dumb questions. Well, I think they're not dumb. I just think like because I'm passing out, is that the best thing to do at that time? I don't think it's so. So they start asking me like, "Oh, like how are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10?" I was like, I feel like a 1, like the very unhappy smiley face. They're like, "Oh, how many like pads have you sent?" And then my mom at that point, she's like so frustrated. She's like, 100. Is that a lot or no? Well, she didn't say 100. She said like 10 or 20. I don't know how many she said it. And so that lady's like, okay. They put me in a room and they see the situation that's going on, you know. And instead of, I would imagine like, you know, at that point my pants are already ruined, right? I would imagine that they cut the pants instead of, you know, pulling them down and, you know, basically it looks like a freaking crime scene right there in the freaking bed at that point. And so yeah, and so then like right there I'm already passing out. Like I'm passing out. I'm super dizzy. I feel like super weak, super cold. And now the nurses are like all reacting. We have like 4 nurses in there trying to get an IV started. Just chaos at that point in the room. They bring a bag of blood. They bring a warm blankets, heaters, all this crazy stuff, because they weren't sure if I was like shaking or spasming. I don't know what they thought. And so like after they do all of that, like my body manages to, you know, relax, and I come back to my senses. I'm like, okay, like whoa, like I was really dizzy, you know. And so my doctor comes some point in time and he tells me like, hey, what happened? And I was like, I don't know, you tell me. Like, you sent me home, you gave me the all go, and I'm not okay. And so he had no idea what was wrong with me. He had no idea what I was going through, because he thought, you know, it was a normal delivery, everything was good, because you know they do a checklist before they send you home. And I did complain of pain, but not like, I don't know, maybe because they all thought it was normal, because a lot of women go through that. So he was like, oh, you know, probably another normal thing for her. And so he's like, you know what, maybe what happened was there's a little bit of placenta left, so we're gonna go ahead and do a little surgery. It's called, I know it in Spanish, is a raspa, which is basically they just clean you out. They scrape the inside and take whatever is left in there out. And so they did that. I went home. Actually, they did that. They put me in a recovery room, small recovery room, and they sent me home. Like, I don't know if that same day or the next morning, right away. You know, they were like, okay, you're good. Bye. And I was like, bye. And this is around already, because my son was born April 28th. Mind you, it had been a week. So when I went to hospital the first time. So we're looking around like Mother's Day, right? Excuse me. So on Mother's Day, my aunt Andrea decided that she wanted to take us to Korean barbecue to eat. And I was already out of the hospital, so I was like, all right, yeah, it sounds good. That's so delicious, so let's go eat that. And I was very embarrassed and scared, because we were on our way there. We were almost there, actually. And I didn't want to say anything, you know. I was just scared, because I was like, I don't want to ruin everyone's day and everyone's fun and whatever. So I didn't want to say anything, and but I was bleeding, and I felt it. And that's the thing, like, they were so they were so surprised that I could feel everything going on inside. So when I started getting dizzy, that's when I was like, okay, I have to say something, otherwise it's just gonna end badly. So I told my mom, hey, I'm sorry, but you have to take me to the hospital. And she was like, why? I'm like, 'cause I'm bleeding. And she's like, oh, so that she does a huge, probably illegal U-turn. I'm not even sure if it was illegal or not, but she drives me, and we couldn't, like, the thing is, like, we were, Emmett.
Pause it.
We were, where is it, in Garden Grove, right? Garden Grove is where our Korean barbecue place is. So we were all the way in Garden Grove. My hospital is St. Joseph Hospital. So to go from over there back, it is a while, and they were just trying to get to me to a hospital, like the fastest nearest hospital possible. They take me. They dropped me off, me and my mom, at the hospital. I am immediately kind of seen in, kind of quickly, I think this time around. And then they put me in a room, unsure of really what to do. So my mom kind of remembers what they did the first time, and she lets them know, like, this is what they did the first time, so do it again. They didn't really want to listen to her, and so I started passing out again. So they're like, all right, let's listen to her. That's what it worked. Came back to consciousness. And at that point, they put me in a patient room, kind of waiting for my doctor's orders to see what he would say, what he wanted to do. Unfortunately, my doctor was not available, so he sent his partner. And his partner is this, I'm not gonna say rude because he wasn't rude to me, but he's this cocky doctor. He does the same thing my doctor did because he thinks that he did it better, or he knows better, or I don't know what he thought, because as soon as I got out of the second surgery, he was like, oh, you're fine, he probably just missed it. I was like, okay. Puts me in this recovery room. It's really late. I was with my mom only because my partner was with the baby. As soon as they put me in the little room or whatever, it's like really, really late. I'm assuming, I really don't know the time, because there was like no nurses, no one there, really kind of like creepy. Like when you think of a creepy hospital, I'm pretty sure that's what you imagine. And I kind of wake up dizzy as hell, and I tell my mom, and my mom's barely gonna eat, guys. This is why I feel so bad. She was barely gonna eat Carl's that they brought her, because she had not eaten the whole time that, you know, I was in surgery and everything was going on. And neither had I, but I really just was feeling weak and energyless, so it didn't really matter. So at that point, I feel something warm, like on my stomach, and it's blood, a lot. And then I told my mom, like, hey, like, look what's going on. Like, this is going on. Oh my god, I'm almost crying, guys. Yeah, so she goes, runs outside, tries to find a nurse. There is no nurse. There's no one. It's like scary movie moment right there. No one to help her. She's even going in the patient's room, seeing if she can find a nurse, because someone's there in the patient's room, you know, trying to help someone. No one. She eventually finds a lady and tells her, hey, like, I don't know where my daughter's nurse is, but she needs help. Go help her out. So then they're like, oh, one nurse goes in. She's like, oh, what's going on? And then she like sees that like all the blankets are stained, and there's just like, I'm like looking pale white, and at this point it's like I'm freaking out on the inside, calm on the outside. dizzy as hell. I think she presses an emergency button or something, because then a lot of people end up coming in the room. Even my OB, he came in at that point running, scared, because pretty sure he was not expecting to see what he saw when he saw me, which was a huge mess. It was just me. I don't really know what I looked like, but from what my mom describes it, I was really white. I was in a lot of pain. I remember people poking my arm because they couldn't find a vein. At that point, I'm pretty sure my arm looked like probably like an addict's arm. Is the best that I can describe it, because there was just so many needle holes. They just kept apologizing like over and over again. At this point, I didn't scream, guys. I didn't cry. I would just close my eyes and wait for the pain to subside. My doctor did so many crazy things just to stop the bleeding, all which were very painful. He managed to stop the bleeding. I was transferred to ICU so we can come up with a better plan, and I was taken care of better. And he was just like after the next day he came to visit me again. Like, he was like monitoring me very, very, very closely at this point. And he was just, when I woke up, I remember I was sleeping a lot, because honestly I think when you don't have a lot of blood, you don't have a lot of energy. You just, kind of are tired all the time. At this point though, I was getting a little depressed, because imagine, like, my son was just born. I was not being able to be with him on my first Mother's Day. I didn't know if I was gonna live or die. And then it was very weird too, because when I was in ICU, they still didn't have a game plan. I was just there, and I just getting blood transfusion after blood. Even white blood cells, just a lot of stuff. My family, people that probably never come to visit me, just out of the goodness of their heart, came. My uncle, who I like to say he thinks of himself like he's a macho or something. Like, I'm from the rancho, and I don't cry, and I don't respect women type of man. He came and he saw me and he started crying, because he just told me like, oh, like, take care of yourself, like, hope you feel better, all that.
Was he crying?
Yeah, he was crying. I was crying. Everyone was crying. And my other uncle came as well. He just cried after just looking at me. He just hugged me and he was crying, and I was crying with him. At this point, I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna die, because these people never come to visit me, and they're here crying like if I'm already dead. And it's really cool, I think, that St. Joseph has like, I don't know if you could call them interns or like helpers that go and help. Like, I don't know if they're part of their community service. There's a sweet little Asian teen or lady that she was just so professional, because if you saw like what was happening, I think most people would freak out But this girl was so calm, changing my sheets all the time or changing whatever I had underneath. She didn't make me feel like I was disgusting, even though I felt disgusting. Very, very professional. So I think that's really cool. If she's watching this, well, you know what? You did a good job. You never know who watches your things. So the next, I mean, all my family came. You know, some of my friends, closest friends, they came as well. My best friend, he was actually sick, so he couldn't come, but he did FaceTime me and asked how I was doing. Then the doctor comes after some point in time. Kind of tries to joke with me for a bit. I'm not really feeling it though. I mean, after a while, everything really stops being funny to you. And so I tell him, I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do? Because I'm not getting any better. I can't stay in a hospital forever. You need to do something. He's like, right now? And I was by myself because my mom had to make sure things at the house were going smoothly, checking up on my baby and, you know, taking a shower and all that good stuff. Because I was in the hospital like a long time too. So, I mean, you know, you also have to take care of your other kids as well. So she was gone for a bit. The doctor tells me we have two options. I'm 20 years old, by the way, at this time. He tells me we can take out your whole uterus at this point, and the problem will be gone. But you won't be able to have kids anymore, and you will most likely go through menopause at a very, very early age, like in the next year or two. At this point, my voice is trembling. Because to receive news like that at such a young age, regardless if I wanted to have more kids or not, it's just devastating. He's like, we can do another raspa. And I was like, what happened with the second one that you guys already did? Like, what's going on? I don't understand. That doctor told me so confidently that he had fixed me. I don't feel that I'm fixed. I just feel like I'm just getting worse every day. He's like, we're gonna do an exploratory surgery. Unfortunately, these are the only options I have for you right now. He's like, take some time to think about it. When you have a decision, let me know. So, I call my mom right after he tells me this. I'm crying and she's concerned because something else happened to me. I told her what my options are and she was just like, well, what do you want to do? Like, do you want more kids? I was like, I don't know what I want. I'm like, I'm so confused. I don't even know. And we decided to go for this exploratory surgery where he was just gonna put like a microscope or something of that sort. It's like this long tube that they put in. There's a camera. Checks around to see like a lot of things, but before getting that, I had to get another raspa to clean out all the blood clots and stuff like that. So we did that one. Then they put me in for this exploratory surgery to see if they could see what was going on, right? I was a little bit nervous because they told me I wasn't going to be put to sleep like the other ones. And this surgery was probably one of the worst ones ever. Because I felt everything they were doing to me. Because whatever medication or whatever they did didn't work. and it felt like I was getting burned alive. Literally burned alive. Pretty sure this is the only time that I screamed during a surgery because it was just really, really painful. I could feel the laser, whatever they had inside me, burning me. At this point, I just was giving up. So the monitor was showing that my heart rate was going down. And they were just saying, like, oh, you have to keep trying, Maria, like, stay awake, blah, blah, blah. And I was just saying, I'm tired. I'm tired at this point. I'm so tired. And they gave me more medicine, which only made me feel dizzy, didn't take away the pain. But they were able to localize what the problem was. So they ended up telling, like, when I got out of the surgery, my eyes were like red and watery, and my mom was waiting for me like outside the room or whatever, outside a couple of rooms. They put me out, and this nurse or someone was pulling me out. My mom asked her, like, oh, how did it go? And then he's like, oh, good, she did good. And my mom looks at me, she's like, what's wrong? And it didn't go good. I'm telling her, like, at that point, like, they burned me. I felt like I was getting burned alive. I told them to stop, and they wouldn't stop. And, you know, I told her everything, and she was just, like, crying with me and telling me, like, oh, okay, like, it's over now, and you're better. So a lot of that is, like, very, I guess, scary for me. Then basically, like, what they ended up telling me at the end of all this traumatic experience was that the way that my uterus and the placenta attached, it was not attached correctly. It was, like, twisted, like that. And so when my baby was born, the arteries ripped, and that's why I was basically bleeding out. What they were doing was not, the first, couple surgeries, what they were doing was not helpful at all, because, they just thinned out my uterus, and yeah, so it was just kind of like not a waste of time, because they really didn't know what to do with me at first. But they just basically burned the arteries to shut them, and they just told me that that's what it was. There was a malformation, and so yeah, they didn't let me go until, like, probably a couple more days, like 3. They wanted to make sure that, they didn't send me home and I came back, because that did happen a couple of times where, I did end up getting sent home only to come back. It did happen a couple of times. The only reason I didn't mention every single time I went to the hospital or anything is because it's, like, it's the same thing. They did the same thing every single time, and, like, they did that, same thing, like, probably 3 or 4 times, if not more. But yeah, I did go to the hospital a bunch of times. They ended up figuring out what it was. They explained it to me, and my doctor really, really this time checked, like, everything, making sure, like, okay, before he set me off to go, he gave me, like, 3 blood transfusions, 1 platelet, which is basically white blood cells. And I spent both of my Mother's Day, the Mexican one and the American one, at the hospital. After some time, I was allowed to leave. And I met, like, a lot of people, like, a lot of hospital people on the whole time that I was there, because I was in different wings, just because I was there with, and honestly, it is true, like, if they don't have space, they'll put you in another room or another wing, because I was in the ICU for a point in time because I actually needed to be in the ICU. Other times because they really didn't know where else to put me. I wasn't even the orthopedics wing. And it was pretty funny because my mom even asked them, like, are you guys sure you guys are equipped and ready for whatever she may be experiencing or go through. They were like, oh yeah, you know, they were not ready. So when I was ready to go, they were super happy that I was actually okay, and they all told me, like, each wing I went to, they were like, oh my god, you scared me, like I've never seen anything crazy like that. All we see here is like basically like broken bones and whatnot. And so yeah, I did give a couple of people a scare, excuse me. And you know, later on though, like I was just kind of like having nightmares about it, and I guess you can see like a little bit of PTSD, because I would just wake up feeling like I was getting burned, even though I wasn't really getting burned. You know, or just feeling like I was gonna bleed out again, things like that. I would just have a lot of like stress with that, and you know, having a newborn baby, it's just a lot to deal with and handle. And just then my mom was just like always watching me, asking me if I was okay, and I was like, yeah, you know, like I'm okay now, like you don't have to worry, you don't have to check on me. Like it was kind of funny too, because for a while, like every time I came out of the restroom, everyone would look at me like, everything good? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm okay, you know. And yeah, another thing that they told me was that the probability of me having another baby would basically like not happen for me, even though they didn't take out my uterus, but because I got so much done, that they said, you know, it's not gonna happen for you, and don't try. Or not that I wasn't like a rush or anything, or I had like a big desire to have more kids or anything like that, but it kind of just puts you like, at the time you're thinking like, okay, like that's fine, I don't want more kids, I already went through enough trauma, like, you know. And you know, it later does kind of affect, you know, because, you know, mind you, 2 years later you see your kid and you see them playing by themselves, and you know, he has a cousin that's like only I think a year difference from him, and he loves her and he loves playing with her. And so like that news came back to me, and I was just like getting really sad and really depressed, because me and my partner were trying again to have another one, because we were like, you know what, if we die, I don't know, like, you know, you never know, but you never know when your time's gonna come. But like, I'm like, imagine if we die, like both of us together, who's he gonna stay with? Like, he's gonna be by himself, like no one to play with him, no one to be there for him, no one to understand what he's going through. So me and my partner were just like, hey, like, let's have another baby, like, you know, and just, you know, let's make our family bigger, and just, you know, I don't know if you guys can relate to this feeling or not, but we did try for over a year, and we were not able to. And I went to go see someone. I was like, I just want to know, like, if everything's okay.